When the train arrived, I broke up with Selena. She gave a resigned smile. Just because I gave up the sleeper for Lucas?
Yeah.
She smiled, put her head in her hand, acting like she was dealing with a child throwing a fit. So what will it take this time to make you happy again? Play games with you after school starts or buy you some game gear? Or maybe let you bite me a couple of times? Before I could answer, the student Selena was sponsoring Lucas timidly called her, "Selena, my luggage is a bit much. Can you help me with it?" She turned away, tucked Lucas protectively under her arm, and pushed through the crowded train, leaving me with my 2 huge suitcases. I fished out my phone and sent a message. "Mom," cut off all of Selena's cards immediately. Selena didn't know that I only got upset when I actually liked her. Once I stopped caring, she meant nothing to me. The train was packed since it was the back-to-school season. But Selena said she wanted to try the long train ride, so I gave up on flying without a second thought. I excitedly looked up all the travel tips, snacks, playing cards, portable chargers, and the pillow Selena couldn't sleep without. I got it all ready. But on the day we were set to leave, Selena got a phone call and ditched me mid-trip. "Paul, I got some urgent business. Be a good boy. I'll meet you at the station." I was confused. What's so urgent? Need my help? But before I could finish, she had hailed a cab and jumped in. She didn't bother answering me. Selena wasn't someone who acted rashly. I knew it must be something urgent or she wouldn't have left so abruptly. I felt a twinge of worry. But as I stood anxiously at the station entrance waiting for her, she waltzed over hand in hand with Lucas, laughing and joking. At that moment, it felt like a bucket of cold water was dumped over my head. Seeing me, Lucas quickly pulled his hand away and said, "Paul, don't misunderstand. Selena was just holding my hand so I wouldn't get lost in this crowd." I chuckled angrily. "Really? Would you like a kitty leash with that so she can always hold on to you?" Lucas lowered his head, embarrassed. Selena laughed indulgently. "Oh, stop being silly. What kitty leash? Don't joke around." She tried to touch my face like she normally did, but I moved away coldly. "What was your urgent business? Picking him up? Jealous again?" She acted like she didn't know what to do with me, ruffling my hair in an exasperated manner. "Lucas has a lot of luggage and couldn't catch a ride. Unlike you, who's chauffeured around since you were a kid, you don't get what it's like for us who have less. Besides, isn't it livelier with a crowd?" "Paul, stop throwing tantrums." "Huh?" Lucas bowed nervously to me. "Paul, I'm sorry for the trouble. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you on the way. I'm great at doing things. Just think of it as my apology. Okay?" He claimed he could do everything, but when it came time to board, he suddenly became too frail to carry his own luggage. "Ah." Lucas wobbled a bit. Selena immediately left me. "Paul, Lucas isn't as strong as you. I'll help him. Be good." She hastily patted my head and carefully supported Lucas as they walked away, not bothering to look back at me. For some reason, my eyes started stinging. I let out a self-deprecating laugh, gritted my teeth, and struggled with my luggage through the crowded station. When I finally limped into the sleeper car, I was drenched in sweat and my shoes were filthy with footprints. Out of 6 beds, mine was the only one still free. Neither Selena nor Lucas were there. I called Selena, but no answer. I messaged her to ask where she was, but the message was like a stone dropped into the ocean. Just before the train started, I found them in Lucas's new social media post. He leaned his head on her shoulder, both making peace signs at the camera. Caption: "Thank you for braving the crowded train for me without hesitation. As I start this new chapter, your company makes me fearless." Selena's comment was, "Go Lucas. You're Selena's pride." Hearts. Tears dripped onto my screen, fogging it up. I roughly wiped my face and left a comment through the tears. "Yeah, it's definitely lively, but this kind of lively I don't want anymore." A second later, Lucas deleted my comment. With a twisted smile, I ignored it. Even in the sleeper car, the air wasn't great. The rocking of the train made me more and more nauseous until I passed out in a daze. Who knows how much time had passed when I suddenly felt someone gently stroking my hair. Startled, I opened my eyes. Despite the dizziness clouding my vision, I saw it was Selena. I swatted her hand away, Don't touch me. She sighed, smiling helplessly. Angry again? All right, it's my bad. Too many people on the train. I didn't hear my phone. You've got the only sleeper ticket, while Lucas and I are stuck with hard seats. Aren't you satisfied? I glared at Selena. She genuinely didn't think she'd done anything wrong. She had changed, but deep down, I still felt a pang of injustice. Satisfied, very satisfied, I muttered, enduring the dizziness with a cold voice. Can you please let go of me? I need to rest. Still sleeping? You've dozed off like a pig. Selena pulled me up. Lucas is feeling sick from the motion, and you've slept enough anyway. Let him rest in the sleeper. Isn't this what you wanted? Now you get to have my company, she said, bending to help put on my shoes. I thought. So, she wasn't here to keep me company, she was just here to take my sleeper. I shoved her away, no need, get lost. Selena stumbled back, and a slender figure rushed forward. Selena! Lucas caught her, looking at me with red-rimmed eyes, as if wronged and defiant. I'm useless and poor, Paul. I don't have your luck, where everything's handed to me. I can't afford a sleeper and get motion sick. Maybe that's just my bad luck. You're a rich kid, and you look down on poor folks like me. Fine, I can take it. But Selena treats you so well, Paul. How can you hit her? Selena's face turned cold as she shielded Lucas behind her. Paul, when did you become like this? Apologize to Lucas now. Their voices were loud, and suddenly, everyone around was looking at me like I was the bad guy. I hadn't done anything, but there I was, on the opposite side of everyone. It felt like I could barely breathe. My eyes stung from holding back the anger. What did I do wrong? Then the train suddenly braked, and dizziness hit me hard. I staggered, turning pale. Selena finally noticed something was wrong. Looking tense, she reached a hand out to steady me. Just then, Lucas suddenly clutched his head and collapsed onto her. Selena, I feel dizzy and awful. Ignoring me, Selena helped him to the berth to sit down. Then she forcefully pulled me up. Give Lucas the sleeper to rest. Consider it an apology for insulting him. She pushed me into the seats section. Be good, don't act like a spoiled brat. You stay here, I'll take care of Lucas. And I'll join you after he's asleep, she said, before walking away. Watching her leave, I couldn't hold on anymore and started dry heaving. Hey, are you all right, young man? An older lady from the next seat looked at me with concern. I waved her off, signaling that I was okay. If you're feeling bad, have some warm water. Don't tough it out. The lady seemed kind-hearted. A train attendant walked by, and she caught his attention. Sir, can you witness for me? This young man isn't feeling well. I'm going to get him some warm water. The attendant looked at both of us and nodded. She handed me a cup of hot water. I thanked her but didn't dare to drink it. Instead, I just laid my head on the table and dozed off. Late into the night, as the train stopped and started for some unknown reason, I was jolted awake. Not only was my motion sickness worsening, but my back, waist, and arms were painfully sore. I glanced to my side. It was a stranger. Selena, who said she'd be back soon, wasn't there. I pulled out my phone to check the time. It was 3 a.m. Around 11:30 p.m. Selena had sent a message. Lucas isn't feeling well, and I can't leave him alone. A sleeper seat opened up, so I bought a ticket. Paul, you're strong. Think of a seat as a unique experience. I'll find you in the morning, all right? Miss you. In a strange place, with an uncomfortable body and blatant favoritism. My heart hurt with a sharp, persistent ache that left me breathless. I realized the Selena who promised she'd love me, protect me for life, and felt heartache whenever I frowned, was gone for good. I stayed awake in my seat, watching morning light break, alone. But even by mid-morning, Selena hadn't returned. In my rush yesterday, I only brought a small bag, while the rest was with the sleeper. No water, no food, nothing. Not wanting to see Lucas, I messaged Selena to bring my stuff over, but got no response. Left with no choice, I pushed through the crowd to get to the sleeper car, despite my nausea. Before I even reached the berth, I heard laughter. Selena, come on, Stop showing off with your boyfriend just because of a card game. We're sick of this love fest. I stopped in my tracks, just as Selena's calm voice responded, "Oh, please, it's not showing off. Lucas has never played cards. Without my backing, you guys would crush him. See, I just mentioned it and you're at it again. And you say it's not showing off." Someone else chuckled. "But who was that sick-looking man last night? Must have been a rich boy who dislikes poor folks." "Huh?" Selena sighed, sounding resigned. "Just a spoiled brother? Temperamental and clueless. Not like Lucas, who's been independent and kind since he was a kid." Those simple words were like knives with barbs, plunging into my heart and tearing it apart. Selena was lying. Back in my freshman year of high school, she brought a gift and nervously confessed to me, saying she didn't want to be just a sister, that after I turned 18, she wanted to be my girlfriend. I agreed, ecstatic and bashful, that we'd be together the moment I turned 18. Lost again. Lucas lost again. Get the biscuit ready. I reached the berth area amid the cheering and saw 4 or 5 people sitting on both lower bunks. The snacks I had prepared and the cards were all out, munching and playing. Lucas was leaning against a pillow I'd brought specifically for Selena. At that moment, Selena was bracing herself against him, leaning in close. The two had a biscuit between their lips. Selena's eyes were gentle and focused, while Lucas blushed from ear to ear. I couldn't hold back anymore and grabbed Lucas by the collar, landing a hard slap. He yelped in pain. "Lucas!" Selena quickly supported him. Seeing me, a guilty look flickered across her face but quickly took a stern tone. "Paul, what are you doing hitting Lucas? Apologize." All the grievances I had bottled up exploded. Apologize? Why? Was the biscuit tasty? What, not dizzy anymore? Not feeling sick? Selena hesitated, trying to explain, but Lucas interrupted. "Eating your biscuit was my fault. I'm sorry." He slapped his own face hard. "I was feeling dizzy and unwell, and they suggested playing cards just to help distract me. Is one slap enough?" He slapped himself again. "Enough? If not, I'll kneel and apologize. Okay?" Tears streaked his face as he lunged towards me, trying to kneel. Instead, he collided with a passenger carrying instant noodles. In a heartbeat, scalding soup dumped onto my foot with the noodles. I grunted, but my noise was drowned out by Lucas's cries of pain. "Selena, it hurts, it really hurts." He showed Selena his arm with a few red marks. Selena immediately felt distressed, taking his hand protectively. "Paul, you really let me down." Selena looked at me with anger in her voice. My face was pale from the pain. "Selena, are you blind? Didn't you see he knocked over the noodles and I'm more burnt than he is?" Selena paused and looked down at my feet. Lucas chimed in, "Paul, lying is wrong. You're wearing shoes so you didn't get burnt. How can you deceive Selena like that?" Selena's face grew even more serious. She looked at me coldly and said, "Paul, being snobby, petty, hitting people, lying, when did you become like this? I'm taking Lucas to treat his burns. You need to reflect on yourself." Selena helped Lucas to the washroom, leaving me standing there in a daze. True, unlike Lucas with his bare arms, I was wearing shoes. But those shoes were just like the ones Selena was wearing, the mesh breathable sneakers I had recently bought her. After a while, I lowered my head with a bitter laugh, then limped into the crowded compartment. I went to the bathroom alone to quickly rinse my foot. As for burn ointment, I'd have to wait until we got off the train. At least the train ride was almost over. When I returned limping, a kind lady expressed her concern again. Seeing my guarded expression, she kept her distance. Hours later, as the train slowed down before the station, Selena finally came to the hard seat carriage. "Have you reflected?" she asked, running her hand through my hair. I ignored her, turning my head away. Selena sighed helplessly. "I'm sorry. The train signal was bad, so I didn't see your texts. Can you forgive me this once? But Paul, no matter what, you can't hit people. Bullying isn't something good boys do." With a compromising tone, she put her arm around my shoulder. "Let's say this is the last time, but you have to promise not to bully Lucas anymore. Okay?" I didn't answer. It didn't matter to me anymore. I didn't want to talk about it. but Selena assumed I agreed. She smiled, kissed my forehead. Good boy. That's more like it. This is the Paul the first love. Before, I'd get shy and happy when she kissed me. Now, it just felt disgustingly wrong. Come on, let's pack up and get off, Selena said, reaching to pull me up. I ignored her and stood up on my own. She thought I was still sulking and pinched my nose playfully. Fine, don't hold my hand then, but stick close. I don't want to lose my boyfriend on a train ride. No, you already lost him. The train announcement pulled me from my thoughts, reminding passengers to grab their belongings. The train stopped, and Selena and Lucas disappeared into the crowd. Looking at my 2 big suitcases, I took out my phone and messaged, "Mom, cancel all of Selena's cards immediately." I looked down at the platform, trying to figure out how to get my luggage off the train myself. The kind lady's voice chimed in again. "Oh, it's you, young man. These suitcases sure are big. Let me help you get them off the train." Before I could refuse, she handed me her jacket. "Hold this for me, would you?" She quickly took one of my suitcases and headed out of the train. I barely managed to take the jacket, which smelled odd, but I dismissed it, thinking it was just the train's scent. As I got off the train and tried to thank her while returning the jacket, I felt my mind slipping. The lady looked at my dazed expression, touched my face. Lucas wasn't kidding. "This face is so fair and tender, it's irresistible. From now on, I'm your aunt. Do as I say, got it?" She took my hand and led me forward. Inside, I screamed for help, but outwardly, I nodded and said, "Okay, Aunt." Obediently, I followed her away. Selena, Selena. God must have heard me because my phone rang with Selena calling. Hope flickered in my blurry vision. The lady smirked. "Don't bother. Your girlfriend is preoccupied." She picked up the call without a care. "Paul? Lucas got heat stroke. I'm taking him to the hospital first. Just catch the bus to school. Okay? Be good." Before I could respond, Selena hung up. I watched helplessly as my vision faded. It's the start of the school year rush. Selena waited with Lucas in the taxi line. Her phone rang. Seeing Mom on the screen, she answered quickly. Lucas noticed too, eyes gleaming with intent, listening carefully. "Mom, are you free now? What's up? Where's Paul? Did you two have a fight?" Paul's mom interrupted, sounding worried. Selena laughed it off. "Did Paul tattle on me again? He's so childish, I just helped a male classmate with his luggage. Why would Paul message me to cancel your cards over that? Why doesn't he answer my calls then?" Paul's mom questioned. After all, she's a mom. Of course, she knows her son's personality. I wouldn't have said something like that if I wasn't really upset and disappointed. Selena was a bit in disbelief hearing this and finally realized, maybe I really am mad. Paul's mom continued, "Paul's next to you, right? Hand the phone over, I want to have a word." Selena's breath hitched. "Mom, Paul's not with me right now. Not with you? Then where is he? Why isn't he with you? I can't reach him and he doesn't know his way around. The train station is too crowded." "Selena, what are you busy with?" "Maybe his phone's out of battery," Lucas chimed in. Selena thought that made sense. She was about to relay the message to Paul's mother when she caught a familiar figure sprinting through the crowd out of the corner of her eye, ignoring bumping into people. It was Linda, the family friend. She's 3 years older and already a senior in college. "Is she here to pick us up at the train station?" Selena suddenly had a bad feeling seeing Linda running like that. "Selena, talk to me." "Mom, I'm going to find Paul," Selena hurriedly said, then bolted to chase after Linda. "Selena, where are you going?" "Selena," Lucas called out immediately. "Lucas, wait here. I'll be..." Selena's words were cut short by Lucas's cry of pain. She turned around to find Lucas had fallen, his knee scraped and bleeding. Selena hesitated, gritted her teeth, then quickly returned to help Lucas sit on a nearby curb. "Lucas, hang in there. I'll go check on Paul. I'll be back to take you to the hospital soon." Without waiting for Lucas to answer, Selena ran off again. "Selena," Lucas reached out but caught nothing. He bit his lip in frustration and quickly pulled out his phone to send a message. Though she only went back briefly to help Lucas up, The train station was bustling. By the time Selena resumed her chase for Linda, she was nowhere to be seen. She looked around everywhere but still didn't find her. Panting, she took out her phone and called Linda. The call connected, but no one answered until it automatically disconnected. Damn it, Selena cursed out loud. She immediately called me, but all she heard was the unresponsive system message saying the call couldn't be connected. Over and over again, no matter how many times she tried. Paul, where are you? Stop being stubborn, I was wrong. Please call me back as soon as you get this. Okay? She sent a message, but there was no response. She then went to the newcomers' bus area to ask the student volunteers assisting freshmen, but they all said they didn't remember seeing me. At this moment, anxiety overwhelmed Selena like never before. Her hand holding the phone trembled uncontrollably. Felt like something bad had happened. Unsure of what to do, Selena spotted security cameras above. Her eyes lit up and she turned to find station staff for help. But Lucas's call came in. Selena didn't answer. He called again and again. Just stay there and wait. Selena snapped as she finally picked up, only to hang up immediately after. In her state of panic, she was scared that if I called, the line would be busy. Hearing there might be an issue with a male student, the staff immediately pulled up the surveillance footage. Selena provided the train number, and soon, my image showed up on screen. When she saw someone helping with my luggage, Selena was taken aback, then belatedly realized the gap between the train and platform was big. 2 suitcases were not easy for me to handle on my own. At this point, Selena still thought it was her oversight, that she missed some details. Once she found me, she'd apologize properly. But in the next instant, seeing the woman who helped with the luggage pinch my cheeks, hold my hand, and answer my phone, while I just stood there compliantly, offering no resistance. Later, when I willingly followed the woman as she led me away, Selena felt a boom and her heartbeat seemed to stop. So, the woman in the video, is she someone your boyfriend knows? The staff immediately sensed something was off and asked. No, she's not. Selena's voice quivered. Call the police. Save him. Please save him. She shouted out loud. Police immediately sprang into action. They tracked down the van through the cameras. Seeing me being pushed inside and the door closing, Selena's knees nearly buckled, and she almost couldn't stand. Her phone rang again. Have you found Paul? It was Paul's mother, her voice filled with anxiety. Selena's lips trembled. Mom, Paul, he seems to have been taken by traffickers. Thud. Something hit the floor. Selena quickly added, Mom, don't panic. The police have already locked onto the trafficker's car. I'll go with the police now to rescue Paul. I'll bring him back safe and sound. I will, she repeated, unsure if she was reassuring Paul's mom or herself. Selena, you're amazing. Paul's mother was both angry and anxious. I was unaware of all this. When I came to, there was only despair in my heart. From the conversation, I realized I'd fallen into the hands of human traffickers. They planned to sell my organs. I never imagined a grown man like me would be tricked and drugged. Unknown place, unknown people. Selena already took Lucas and left. And judging from what the traffickers had said, it seemed Lucas was one of them. He'd surely try everything to stop Selena from discovering what happened to me. So when Selena takes a long time and finally realizes something's wrong, she comes looking for me. But by then, I might be who knows where, dealing with who knows what. I feel this choking pain in my chest, hurt, fear, regret, and despair. Hey, third family, look, isn't that motorcycle tailing us? The driver up front suddenly blurts out. Hell, it really might be. The woman who took me curses. My dazed eyes shoot wide open. Who could it be? Is it Selena? Is she here to save me? Hurry and shake them off. Quick! The woman angrily yells at the driver. But then, it's over. It's over. The cops are here. The cops are here. The driver shouts in panic. Not wanting to get caught, the kidnapper floors it, ignoring road and traffic rules, driving wildly. Boom! A loud crash with a furious impact. Before my consciousness fades, I see Linda rushing over, her face full of panic and worry. When I wake up again, I'm in a hospital. I feel dizzy and nauseous. Before I can process it, I hear arguing outside the door. Selena, you have the nerve to show up here. It's Linda's voice. I ask you, how were you taking care of Paul? How did he get kidnapped? That's none of your business. I'll apologize to Paul when I see him, says Selena. Get out of my way. Screw you. You think you can just see Paul? In your dreams. Linda's so mad she's cursing. Sounds like a fight broke out, and the hospital room door swings open. A fallen Selena sees me. Paul. She rushes towards me with a hoarse voice. She's moving too fast and almost stumbles again. I'm sorry, Paul. She steps forward, reaching out to hold my hand. I pull away and just stare coldly without saying a word. Linda grabs Selena by the collar from behind. Get lost. Facing me again, Linda's tone softens in an instant. Paul, does your head hurt? Are you dizzy? Do you feel like throwing up? Are you feeling uncomfortable? A flood of questions. I never saw Linda like this before. Well, actually, she was even more worried when she rescued me from the kidnappers. Linda, I'm okay. Paul, have some water. I'll help you drink. Selena moves to the other side of the bed, offering a cup of water to my lips. Without hesitation, I smack it away. Get lost. Water spills, soaking Selena's clothes. She pauses, but quickly sets the cup down like nothing happened. Not thirsty? Then are you hungry? Want anything to eat? Get lost. I cut her off in a cold voice. Selena, leave the room. Get out of my sight. Do you hear me? Selena turns pale, trembling as she kneels, meeting my gaze. Paul, I didn't take care of you, and that's why you were in danger. I'm sorry. You can hit me or yell at me, just don't make me leave. Okay? Paul, don't treat me like this. We're a couple, aren't we? Give me a chance to make up for my mistake. Will you? Mistake? Couple? I sneer. We already broke up. First off, there's that. Then, who said we broke up? A few angry words don't count. I don't agree. I ignore her. Second, you were the one who wanted to try a long-distance trip experience, convincing me to agree. So, how did it go? Seeing me excited, looking up stuff, getting food and drinks ready, all for you and Lucas. You must feel great. Halfway through, you left me. When we checked tickets, you left me. You got on the train with Lucas, took selfies, and left me in the sleeper alone. He said he was car sick. You woke me in the middle of the night to go to the hard seat, and left me there all night. No water, no food, nothing. What were you doing when I found you? Playing cards with him? Just kiss Lucas already. What's with the card game excuse? Aren't you tired? As my words drip with sarcasm, Selena's face turns whiter. She seems to only now realize what she did. No, Paul, I didn't mean it that way. I won't see Lucas anymore. Okay? I never wanted to kiss him. You're the only one I like. Ignoring her feeble explanation, I keep going. Spoiled me? I hit people. I'm small-minded, and I'm a liar? Selena, I wore the same breathable mesh shoes as you. Remember? Thinking of the boiling instant noodles spilling on my feet makes her tremble and tears start falling. But what does it all matter anyway? When you called to say I'd need to take the school bus alone, do you know what I was doing? I was trying every way to ask you for help, but what did you do? Even though I had lost all hope, talking about it brought tears to my eyes that I couldn't hold back. You hung up the phone quickly to take Lucas to the hospital, and he was in on it with the kidnappers. Anger, hurt, and overwhelming fear surged inside me. I grabbed the water cup by my bed and hurled it at a stunned Selena. Blood trickled down from her forehead, but she seemed to not feel it. No way. He's with the kidnappers? He's with the kidnappers? Then does that make me an accomplice? She collapsed onto the floor, quivering. Selena, get out. I'll never forgive you. I finally tell her. Linda storms over, kicking her hard a few times. Did you hear me? Get out. Ignoring Selena's pained grimace, she grabs her by the collar and drags her away. Paul, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I really didn't know he. Selena's desperate voice fades as the door closes. I wipe the tears from my face and smile at Linda, who returned again. Linda, will you call the cops about Lucas? And thank you. The effects of the kidnapper's drugs hadn't worn off yet. I quickly drifted back into sleep. When I woke up again, there was my mom, eyes red from crying. She caught the first flight she could to get here. "Mom!" I burst into tears. She already knew what happened from Linda. Her voice was choked up. "Yeah, I'm here. Don't be afraid, Paul. I'm here. Please don't tell Dad. He's on a business trip, and I don't want him distracted." I added, my voice still shaky. That's when Selena showed up, looking all battered. Seeing Mom, she hesitated but then rushed over and knelt in front of her. "Mom, I'm sorry. It's all my fault I got Paul into this mess. I just couldn't help but think of my days at the orphanage when I saw Lucas, and I wanted to help him. There's nothing between us. Paul is the only one I love," she pleaded. "Please, forgive me this time. Talk to Paul. Tell him not to break up with me. Please, Mom, get out." Mom was furious and kicked her away. "Forgive you? Forgive you for what?" She kicked her a few more times before I stepped in to stop her. Not because I felt sorry for Selena, but I was worried about Mom's health. Selena misunderstood, though. She crawled over to the bed. "Paul, you still care about me, right? I knew you wouldn't want me hurt. Paul, I really get it now. I won't be foolish again. I'll only be good to you from now on, please. Forgive me?" She looked at me, eyes filled with hope. If this had been the old days, I'd probably have felt terrible for her. But I didn't say a word, didn't accuse or scold. I just looked at her coldly. I watched as hope drained from Selena's eyes. It finally dawned on her she realized she'd really messed things up and lost me. She knelt on the floor, sobbing, and began to slap herself hard, over and over, until her mouth started to bleed. I wasn't interested in her apologies. "Selena, leave. Mom already stopped her adoption because of our relationship, so it was convenient timing. You're an adult now. If you want to help someone, earn your own money to do it. Just go." "Mom, Paul, I don't want to leave. I can't live without you guys. You're my whole world. Love who? Give us a break." Linda came in right then, heard her, and promptly threw Selena out again. That afternoon, the cops came to take my statement. That's when I learned Selena had actually called the police too after Linda followed up on the tip. But so what? It all felt like a joke to me. "Based on your information, we've brought Lucas in for questioning. Don't worry, we'll get to the bottom of this quickly." And they did. The traffickers were caught red-handed, and with my testimony, they couldn't wiggle out of it. The cops also found records of Lucas communicating with them on his phone. What shocked me was that from the investigation, they discovered Lucas's entire village was involved in trafficking humans and organs. A literal trafficking hub. Lucas's mom had herself been a college student abducted years ago. I can't even imagine what could have happened if Linda hadn't come to the train station or hadn't seen me. If I'd been taken to that village, it would have been a fate worse than death. About a month later, the police rescued a lot of women and children, including Lucas's mom. As for Lucas, unfortunate timing, really. He'd just turned 18 2 days before boarding the train. Expelled, sentenced social pariah, 3 strikes. That month passed too. After getting discharged, I headed back to school. Officially a college student now. Selena tried to approach me several times, bringing breakfast, snagging seats, and trying to cozy up to my dorm mates to get to me. Didn't care. Sometimes Linda caught her at it and gave her a good kick. "Linda, stop." I'd rush in to stop her. Instantly, Linda's tough front collapsed. "Paul, do you still have feelings for her?" "Enough." I'd roll my eyes, ignoring Selena completely. "I just don't want you getting in trouble with the school or hurting your foot." Instantly, Linda went from stormy to sunny, grinning like a goof. Seriously, she used to be so serious. How did she change so much? I shook my head in mock disapproval, but my smile said it all. Eventually, Selena didn't show up as much. Linda said she was working odd jobs since she ran out of allowance. I let it go. A year later, Linda graduated and planned to go abroad for her master's. Coincidentally, I also got into a university overseas. On the day we left, Selena somehow learned about it. She rushed to stop me. "Paul, please don't leave. I'm working now. Don't go with her. Just wait for me a little longer, will you?" "Wait? Like I've been waiting all this time for her or something?" Give me a break. Ignoring her, I took Linda's hand and got in the car.